I want to start by asking you, how did you get into comics? Like, what was your first experiences as a fan growing up with comic books?
I never read comics actually until I started working in comics.
No way.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things when people learn my story, they get annoyed at me because most people that are into comics are lifelong sort of fans, but I never read them. I met Rob Liefeld at Mile High Comics in 1993. He hired me on the spot, and honestly, I didn't even have any interest in being in comics. I just saw, I was in a long line. My nephew was a comics fan, and I took him to a signing. I didn't know who Rob Liefeld was. I didn't know who Jim Lee was. I didn't know who Stan Lee or Jack. I didn't know who any of these people were. We waited in this 3-hour line, and there were 4 artists that were in front of me, and they're all artists in the comic industry now. Jonathan Sabal, Cedric Nocon, and who also actually introduced me to my current wife. And so there's these artists, and they were all excited about comics. And for 3 hours, I listened to these guys talk about comics, and they were showing each other their portfolios. And when they got to the front of the line, Rob looked at the portfolios and hired them all on the spot. And I was literally the next guy in line.
Wow.
I was working at a bank while I was working on my master's, and I really didn't like retail banking. It sucks.
Yeah.
And so I really hated what I was doing. And here, suddenly I got to the front of this line, and there were these 8 young, good-looking guys. They had black Extreme Studios jackets on, and they all had, it was, Eric Stevenson, Rob Liefeld, Richard Ory, Norm Ratman, Dan Fraga, Barat Michaels, young guys. There was a couple others, I forget who all was there. And there were some cute girls there, and I'm like, these guys are having a good time.
The rock stars.
And I just, on a weird whim, I was the next guy in line. I just looked Rob in the eye and I said, hey, you looking for anybody for anything else? And he's like, we need somebody to write press releases and do lettuce pages. Can you do that? I'm like, yeah. So I remember driving to Crown Books. I bought a book on how to write a press release. I went home, wrote a press release about that signing, and I faxed it to him and said, this is the press release I would have written for this signing today if you would have sent one out. And he hired me the next day.
That's awesome.
And that was 25 years ago, May 23rd.
Wow. So, I mean, this was 1983.
This month, it's May, right?
Yeah.
So 20 days from, it's the 3rd, so 20 days from now I got hired 25 years ago.
Wow, that's crazy. Today's the 4th because it's Star Wars Day. May
May
the 4th be with
19
you.
Days. May the 4th,
But that's crazy. So you were somebody who didn't know anything about it, and just by chance you were just like, hey, you looking for somebody? Jump on in, let's get rolling.
I believe the universe opens up doors for all of us, and you either have the choice to take advantage of it or you don't.
Exactly.
And I think it would have been very easy for me not to have done that because I didn't care, really.
Yeah.
I had my career path. I have a master's in physics. Why am I writing comic books? You know what I mean? So it was really sort of weird. It's actually unusual that I actually finished my master's because comics was such a big thing. I remember May 23rd, 1993, I got hired. I was at San Diego Comic Con 2 months later, and we were selling those Extreme Zero books for $150 a piece.
Wow.
Little full of logos. And I remember there's a famous story that I didn't know really anything. I was just sort of green, and I got up on the table and I said, I want one of these cool books. And and I threw it into this crowd, and it caused a riot. And we almost got thrown out. I thought I was going to be fired from that, but that's actually an early image story. People sometimes attribute that to the wrong person. That was me. I was stupid back then. But
I love it. You guys were rock stars back in the day when Image was first starting out, and the whole boom would happen with the death of Superman, and everyone creating Image and everything. It was really a different time back then.
It was crazy. The first comic I wrote came out in '95. Sold 700,000 copies.
Wow.
I've not written anything that's sold that since. So it was a different era back then.
Yeah.
I get 10, 15, 20, 25,000 sales now, and I'm stoked.